Hi, friends. Um, who else feels really excited right now? Do I look excited? Yeah. I'm just staring at the people count right. Ooh, there's a person. Hi. Now I'm excited. I wonder if it's Terry Moore. I saw that she saw my notification that two people. Talk to me. Hi, Lynn. How are you doing? How's your dad? Of course, now that I started live streaming, my nose suddenly itches like crazy. And I'm going, oh, hi, Heather. It's Drunk with Power Heather. How are you doing? Hi, Michelle, Ronaldo. Oh, Lynn, that's good news. Is he feeling a lot better? Like for the weekend or anything? Michelle is excited about I'm. That's her answer. 6 people. Hi, Roger. How are you doing? When we have, I guess, the max amount of people on here, I will tell you some things that are exciting to me right now. Terry, hi. Terry, I thought you would be first. Oh, we have 2 people. 2 people who are drunk with power. Moderator power. So they can zap people who are bothering us, and then I don't have to sit here and hold my finger on the screen and make people go away. Oh, I'm glad my smile make things better, Lynn. Here, let me smile better. How's that? Is that a good smile? Do I look pretty? Can someone do like a screenshot of this and send it to me? I guess I could. Yeah. Anyway. That one light. It's not working. My family agreed to let me live stream. I just needed to make sure my husband didn't want to go to bed early. It's funny because we usually stay awake too late um, on weeknights, and then Fridays he crashes. I'm like, this is backwards. We should like go to bed at normal hours on weeknights and then stay up late and party on Fridays, right? Isn't that how it should work? They're watching guy stuff downstairs, I think. And, well, the girls are still up, but they're playing with Beyblades. I think that's what they are. Oh, thank you, Terry. Okay. I'm going to tell you one thing I'm excited about. So, my friend Jennifer, she was looking for something on Amazon. It recommended something. Sorry that. Man. Oh, hi, Mr. Pricky. Good to see you too, Mr. Pricky. Okay, anyway, my friend Jennifer was looking at stuff on Amazon and it recommended something really weird, like a book on. Do not disconnect again, I swear. Um, it's a book on how to pick up women and talk to women in public. And it just looks so hilarious, but it's like $45. So, anyway, I said, oh, that reminds me of the movie Better Off Dead, where Lane's brother is reading a like his much younger brother is reading a book called How to Pick Up Trashy Women, and that just got us like quoting stuff from it, and just like everybody was just laughing about the movie, and oh, I knew you must like that movie because only great people like Better Off Dead. So I just ordered it, and it was only like $5 on Amazon. I love this movie, and it doesn't make any sense that I didn't own it a long time ago. But, if I did own it a long time ago, my kids probably would have played with it and destroyed it. So hopefully I can keep it safe. Have you all seen this movie? It makes me laugh. Oh. Do words show up reverse on my live? Looks like it's called Dabe Faux Retted. Okay, this has so many quotable things in it. So the basic storyline is this guy's in high school and has all this teenage angst, and his girlfriend dumps him for, I guess, a better guy. And he obsesses a lot over getting her back. And I don't know, I don't want to give away all the funny things, but there's just really funny lines in it. Like, sorry your mom blew up, Ricky. She actually lives, so it's not like, a horrible thing, but it's a comedy, obviously. So, hi, Drop Bear. Hi, Teddy. Yes, apparently my video is mirrored. It doesn't do that if I'm just making a video, but apparently while I'm live streaming. Little piece. Hello. Let me see if I missed anybody. Like when I talk too much, I missed that somebody came into the room, and then I feel bad. So anyway, this is like one of those, I guess, cult classic movies. And even though I probably still have it pretty much memorized, I'm going to watch it again and I'm going to laugh. Okay. Another thing that I'm really excited about, more excited than ordering Better Off Dead, is for the first time this week, my daughter, 3 years, 6 months, and 15 days after she was born, she decided to sleep in her bed in her room. And, well, the first time it was maybe 2 hours, but still, that's 2 hours longer than she was willing to do it before. And what it took was my older daughter saying, "Hey, I'll sleep on the bottom with you." And she goes, "Okay." And she got all excited. And then the next day she said she was going to get in her bed again. And she actually slept until 7:30 in the morning. So I woke up going, "Oh my gosh, she's not in our bed." So if that could happen many, many times now, I should feel a lot better in many ways. That should make our summer a lot more fun, too, I think. To be well rested and then let's go do something fun. Now if the price of gas would just drop, it's way too high. It's like $3.45 a gallon here or something. The last I went. Too high. But our zoo pass will be good through, I think, September. And we can, well, it's kind of a drive though, but at least I can say, well, we can do something that will only cost us some gas, right? Yes, Teddy, sweet child separation. And then my kids didn't have school today, and we have a 4-day weekend. And I woke up at like 8 in the morning, not even realizing she was in the bed with us. And the first thing I hear is, "I love you, Mommy." So sweet. And then she said, "I'm sleeping with you." I couldn't even feel that her head was on my arm. Funny. And she didn't try to wake me up. That was really nice. Terry, don't even tell me gas is going to be $5. Drop Bear, your guess is $1.58 in Australian money. So we wanted to go visit my in-laws, and now I'm trying to calculate, okay, how far can I go on a tank, and what's it going to cost us to get there and back. And then as much as you say, oh, we'll pack a bunch of food and make our own food on the way down, that's just not typically what happens. So, eating out can be a real killer. And then I don't want to get down there and make my in-laws buy a bunch of groceries for our large family. Now, that's something they used to do all the time, but I don't want to do that to them now. So typically when we get down there, we do a huge shopping trip, and they're not in good health right now. So I would have to like meal plan and cook everything while I'm there. So my father-in-law lost a toe to diabetes this year, and amazingly, his doctor just said he's not diabetic anymore, and that happened not too long after he was treated for a pancreas infection, which makes you wonder how long he had that for. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I do love to cook, but as long as someone cleans up after me. I get so tired, and yeah, I don't think my husband understands like why it makes such a giant mess, but I tend to like cook everything from scratch, and he's more likely to buy things from the freezer aisle and pop them in the oven. Heather, I don't think he saved his toe. So, have you guys read the 5 love languages? So, like, the way I show love is often through acts of service. So, I will knock myself out making an elaborate meal, and over time I just realized, my husband's happy even with just spaghetti, like out of like the spaghetti sauce can be out of a jar. And I realized he'd rather, like, if it's his birthday or something, I make something more simple and not destroy the kitchen. So I kind of save that for, I guess, my friends now, people who are really into gourmet food. But me and my brother and my sister, we're all pretty much foodies. And like, if I talk about my brother and what he does, he kind of sounds like almost like Frasier, if you've seen the show Frasier. Like, he has like a tough job, a very hard job. But like on the side, he's like staying up all night babysitting meat that he's smoking, and he's growing his herbs, and he um, would steep the herbs and make a foot soak for his wife because she has like restless leg syndrome and stuff. So anyway, so yeah, like that's me and my brother and my sister. Like we're all about cook really fancy things to show everybody how much you love them. And like my brother is not a very like super sentimental guy. Um, isn't like so much a words of affirmation sort of person, and yeah, so that's mainly the way that I show love. And maybe I'm not really sure which one makes me feel love the most, but I like that book because it helped me recognize, oh, okay, when that person does that, it's not really out of a sense of duty or something. It's like an act of service is how they show their love. Toe jam. Yeah, I wanted my gallbladder. No one saved my gallbladder for me, but they said it's not really much to look at because it like deflates and it's this kind of tissue or something. And I was like, still, I wanted to see my gallbladder. Thank you very much. It's my gallbladder. Oh, Valium works for restless leg syndrome? Good to know. Anyway, where was I going with the love languages thing? Oh, oh yeah. When I was very pregnant with Sabrina, um, we had just moved into our house, and my oldest son finally had his own room, and he'd never had like a very decent bed, and he loves to read. And so he was going on a camp out, and this was very hard for me because I was having lots of contractions, but I decided, and my husband had gone on the camp out too. I said that I would build a headboard that had a bookcase on it. I thought he's going to love this, and I got a lamp to go on the top so that he wouldn't have to get out of bed and turn the light off. Um, just have all those books right by his head. And it was a lot of work. Like, I'm not gifted when it comes to looking in diagrams and reading instructions and figuring out how to put things together. Like, I have to study it for a long time, figuring out what the heck everything is. So that took me many hours, and I had to find someone to come over and help me carry it upstairs. And meanwhile, I had ordered quite a nice mattress from like a Sleep Country outlet or something, and that was scheduled to be delivered. So I worked really hard, and I'm thinking my son is just gonna be so excited, and he comes upstairs and goes, "Cool, that was it. Cool." And meanwhile, I had made some pumpkin eclairs that my friend gave me the recipe for. And when he saw those, he's like, yes! So that'll teach me to work hard for anything for his birthday, because I don't think that's his love language, but pumpkin eclairs are his love language. Oh, Lynn, go get some rest. Thanks for stopping in. Teddy, you like pumpkin eclairs? I guess for me, I feel like food is maybe kind of a lame gift because then you just eat it and it's gone. But he loved it. So, oh, Michelle, good night. I think I already missed her, but anyway, yeah, I want to make chocolate eclairs sometime. I thought the eclairs would be really hard, but they actually weren't that hard at all. So it's just the filling is pumpkiny, not the bread part. It's just the regular. Hi, Jamie. So there was something else I was excited about, and I don't remember. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna make my YouTube quota this month. Like lately, I've had to combine, like 2 months have been combined so that I get paid like every other month. So it's not a ton, but I hope that things are climbing back up after adpocalypse. So, well, part of that was super chat donations, so that's really helped. So I was excited about that. On my Patreon, my donations are at $96 a month, and I have 15 patrons, so that's exciting. And Yeah, there's some things I put on there, some videos that I don't make public. Yeah, Mr. Pricky, I looked at the Scam Beaters Union. Is that does that seem to be causing any sort of change? It's run by a German guy, right? Teddy, you have a friend who makes chocolate eclairs. I keep contemplating going on the keto diet, but you have to be really committed for that, and I don't know, it just seems like you constantly have to have fresh things on hand, and I don't know. I might be able to try it in the summer, but I'm not really sure if it would be a good fit for me or not. We'll see. Yeah, Google is a monster, Mr. Pricky, for sure. Um, yeah, so in case you don't know how YouTube works, you have to make $100 before you get a paycheck. So if you make $50, then in the month, then you would wait until the next month and hopefully make another $50, and then you get a paycheck. Okay, Jamie, we'll see you next time if you don't come back. And YouTube had demonetized my video about the conversation where that lady suggested that you should ask babies for their consent to change their diaper, and I wasn't surprised they demonetized it. I'm like, oh, I guess that falls under the controversial thing, and I didn't even try, but then a couple days later it was monetized. So I don't get them. But that happens after I've gotten probably the majority of the views that I'm gonna get. Heather, you on the seafood diet? That just reminded me when I was in Austria. Um, I told that joke. Um, well, do you like seafood? And seafood, and you open your mouth and you show the food, and like my host parents thought that was the funniest thing ever. I forgot about that joke. Little PC made 37 cents on YouTube. That's exciting. I basically decided, hi Blanca, how are you? I decided I would give YouTube a good try for I think a year or so, because I read that it typically takes like 5 to 6 months before you make any money, and I thought, I'm just gonna keep pushing it until a year. I just felt like I just need to try. Like I wanna entertain people. I wanna spread awareness about scams. It's like a win-win situation. And um, yeah, with the ad issues, it's what's the word? I don't know. Like at times it makes you feel like, ugh, I'm gonna have to lessen my time making videos and then increase piano students or something. But it's just getting harder and harder to teach with my kids having so much going on. Like, sorry about the darkness here. With my son taking driver's ed, there's not that many availabilities, but he took it with his best friend, and his mom is so awesome. She would drive for the majority of it because it was just smack in the middle of piano lesson teaching time. And oh, thanks, Mr. Pricky. Oh, what's funny about that title is sometimes people criticize it and they go, you titled it "Woman Destroys the Fake IRS," and like, but you're the woman. I'm going, yeah, you have to like title it what people are searching for, you know, because sometimes it's not so much the quality of a video as it is entering like the right keywords and the right title, and that's something that I've struggled with. But yeah, most of my videos when they're recommended, it came from that video. Yeah, the last I looked, it had 1,100,000 something views. And that's really the only reason why I make any money on YouTube. And I think if it ever got demonetized, I would lose it. The one where I pretend to puke, that got demonetized for a bit, and so I had to click on review and go through the 1,000 views before they would review it. But then I got the email saying, "Good news, your video is friendly for advertisers." And I wasn't really sure if they were going to decide that or not, because I thought maybe pretending to throw up is controversial and not advertiser friendly. But what if they put up an ad for like an anti-nausea drug? I mean, I think that would be good. um, Terry, this is kind of a guessing game. I just have to think, if I were looking for a certain type of video, what words would I enter? And one thing that made me excited was when I was looking at analytics one day, I realized people weren't just accidentally landing on my channel anymore. They would do searches for my channel name. Music is a Rainbow, Vomit. Music is a Rainbow, destroys fake IRS. And yeah, that was a pretty exciting thing. Like, oh, they're looking for me on purpose. Oh, Mr. Pricky, you've had some overturned? That's good. You know, they make you check that box saying that I declare that it is advertiser friendly. And sometimes that's kind of subjective, you know? Drop Bear, a Wet Wives ad? Yeah. Um, and I kind of wonder, so there's these clauses in the, AdSense agreement, and it says, you will get paid this much unless advertisers don't pay for some reason. And you don't really have any way of knowing that. And I kind of think maybe part of the reason people aren't getting paid as much is because maybe with all the issues going on with advertisers, maybe they at times have decided not to pay. Yeah, Terry, maybe I should do a video sometime on what you see in analytics. I'm sure other people have that, but it would be kind of fun to show the search terms. What's confusing is one time it said my traffic came from a certain website. Like one time it said it came from irs.gov, but I couldn't find anything on their site that would have led it to my videos, or maybe were they on that site right before they came to YouTube? Like there was another one, like I'd done this video where I went to a Chris Isaak concert last year. That was so much fun. His voice is amazing too. And there was this peacock right behind me. Like people in front of me were looking really amused, and I thought, what are you looking at? And I turn around, and like maybe 4 to 5 feet behind me is this peacock. And so, yeah, I saw that some people came from chrisisaak.com, and I didn't record any songs in full or anything, but mainly I just wanted to get footage of the peacock. it was just super cracking me up. So that was they have these concerts, outdoor ones at this winery, and I really want to go to another concert there because you can bring your own food in and have a picnic, and they also have some decent food for sale there too. But I would love to have a date with my husband and go do that. And I think they do search your bags to make sure you don't have anything that you shouldn't. Little piece. Yeah, that's a nice video. So, and then analytics shows where my audience is. So typically, well, it used to be like 75% of my viewers were in the US, and now I've gained more in Canada. So now it's like, I think 60 something US. And what was really funny was watching my views from India climb. So I always have to wonder how many of those are scammers. But I do get a lot of comments from people from India who say, "Oh, these people are making our country look so bad," and and sometimes they apologize on their behalf, and I just feel bad because I don't blame them because we have scammers here. They just do different kinds of scams. Yeah, so I haven't looked for a bit. Most of my viewers come from the US, then Canada, then the UK. Uh, might be Australia below that, and then India. So India is, I think, number 5. Um, one time I saw like a tiny fraction was the United Arab Emirates. That makes you wonder. Wonder how they like these videos. Sylvia, it could be they're trying to get some tips, but they still make the same ridiculous mistakes over and over and use the same script. That's just ridiculous. So, analytics also shows you how many views you've had in a 48-hour period. And I remember IREX scammers and we would talk to each other and go, "Did you just have a major surge in views?" And yeah, like, "Did you just have a major surge in subscribers?" Like, both of us had gotten 100 to a couple hundred new subscribers like overnight, and that like would never happen. And suddenly I had like 55,000 people watching my videos in a 48-hour period, and of course I got really excited, and I thought if that would keep up I could make my car payment every month. Hi Jamie, I'm glad you're back. So yes, that was short-lived, and it just seems like all YouTubers have seen a decline in views and everything else. So yeah, let me know if you'd be interested in a video about my analytics and all the stats. I'm still trying to make sense of everything. Um, I'm not super brainy that way, but um, YouTube has like this training thing on how to be successful. Not, I mean, it's just videos that you watch, and it says you want to have a good title and custom made thumbnails, and that was something I was terrible at the beginning, and I didn't have like a good app to make custom made thumbnails, so I've worked on that, and sometimes I'm about to upload a video and I still have to make a thumbnail. It's not my favorite thing. And then I upload the thumbnail, and then it ends up not being as visible as I thought it was going to be as far as the words go. But then my most popular video, it doesn't have a customized thumbnail, and so I don't know. Maybe people don't really care and YouTube's wrong. I think they just kind of are pushing for people to make their videos look professional. Drop Bear, that's true. They're consistent in their weirdness. Okay, I keep itching because my ceiling fan, like, I don't know, the wind is like blowing my wispy hairs onto my face, so I don't have a disease. Hi, Esprit, how are you doing? Okay, I'm trying to remember who all I tried to give moderator power, but I figure the more people, the better, because you never know who all is able to be on when I live stream. Heather says, I start on scammer, prank, or doll videos and end up in places I should not have gotten into. Oh, did I ever tell this story? I don't remember if I did. Maybe I thought about it and then I felt horrified and decided not to. Like, so like I have a playlist called Messing with Scammers, and sometimes I'll watch my videos when they're uploaded like on my computer to see how things turned out. And I did that more back when I had like when I was new at editing and was using the YouTube editor and stuff. So I walked away and videos were just auto playing. And I come back to my computer and it's so wrong. Like, people will never run out of sick things, you know? I don't know if I can say this. It's so disturbing. I think I actually wrote a blog about this. Anyway, it was a video involving a grown woman and her diaper. I hope they booted all of those off, but at the moment I was like, oh my gosh, I have to change the name of my playlist so this will not be associated. I was afraid there would be like some child watching and then all of a sudden they're on these horrible I don't even want to say the word. No, no, Terry, no, I can't talk about it. I hit report and mm-mm. I just no. Terry, I'll show you the blog post later. Some things I can write and I just don't feel like I can say it. What is wrong with people though? You guys can probably guess. I'm just gonna let you guess. Esprit, you're dog sitting? That, like, pretty much every dog sitting experience we've had has been a disaster that causes us to vow to never dog sit again. Hi, Sydney. Sydney, you didn't miss everything. I'm still here. But I'm not going to talk about the one thing that I almost talked about in full and just realized that I can't talk about it. And I keep feeling like I'm gonna burp, so if I end up burping, I'm really sorry in advance. Ew, little piece, no, where? When did that happen? I love you too, Sydney. Oh, little piece that was on. I think that would be more embarrassing. So, hi, Cheeky. Am I saying your name right? If I'm not, I'll probably just say it however I feel like. No, I'm not going to start doing the burping thing because there are several YouTubers where, actually, YouTubing women who make it a point to let out a big, huge burp during um, their videos, and it doesn't mean that I'm not really good at burping, but I'm not going to be a copycat, and yeah, so it's not my trademark. It is for my kids. Oh, little piece. That sounds um disturbing. Years ago, I was at this place in Seattle called Gasworks Park, and there's the how to describe it. There's this big covered area that has lots of giant colorful pipes, and my mom and her friend took us there, and I think 15 or 16, and my sister was there with one of her friends. So we were playing hide and seek in there, and so I just decided, okay, I'm not going to look at the man. And my uh, my sister's friend said, "Come on, let's go." And so we walked out of the building. And this is before people had cell phones. Well, if you did have a phone, it was like a car phone, and you were super rich. So anyway, my sister's friend indicated that he was watching us while treating his body like an amusement park, so to speak. He pulled up on his bike and he was wearing spandex shorts. So that's a fun image for you. Um, I was really glad I didn't look at him, but it took my mom a good while before she decided to call the police. But first, we saw this group of skaters, and my mom told them what happened, and they indicated that they were going to go kick the crap out of him. But he'd probably already left quickly on his bike by then. So, yeah, there's one of my sort of horrifying stories. And one of my relatives, who's a cop, I asked him one time, like, what are you allowed to do in that sort of situation? Because I had a friend who was at a thrift shop, and this man exposed himself right in front of her. And I said, "Are you allowed to beat the crap out of someone in that situation?" And he said, "Only if you feel physically threatened. Like, it has to be like self defense." So, I think it should be the law that you can beat the crap out of someone for doing that. That's just my view. I don't understand people like that. Isn't this a great conversation? Spree says, I had a guy text me a pic of it that a group of friends and I meet the night before. I said, I think it autocorrected. Oh, I think it's supposed to be hell no. And threw the phone at my husband. Go husband. Yeah, little piece, I blame you. Thanks. Sydney, I should do ASMR. Okay, I actually thought about doing parody ASMR. I'm like, what if I did this? What if I did that? But everything I thought of, like, people actually did those. And then I didn't want to offend anybody. Hi, I'm Bria. Am I saying your name right? Yeah, so, yeah, Sydney, it wouldn't feel natural to me to make ASMR videos. I don't know. But the first one I ever saw, I was confused because it was supposed to be an unboxing of something, and a friend made the video, and I was sitting here going, "Why are you having such a hard time opening the box? Like, get a knife. Do you want a knife? Cut it open. Let's see what the thing looks like." Because I totally had no idea what ASMR was at the time, and I started to realize, oh, she's doing that on purpose. She's like scratching at it and then crinkling things and. Hi, Being with Life. How are you doing? Yeah, I think I was just thinking my first time seeing you on here. It's the role play ASMR that it's like, oh, wow. Like things like someone pretends to be a nurse and that they're gonna clean your ears out. Okay, like I was thinking, I thought I would do a funny one where I pretend I'm gonna deliver your baby. They really have that. Basically, anything you think of, there's an ASMR for it already. Sydney, do you like the ear cleaning videos? So I wouldn't be into a video where someone pretends to clean my ears. Like I looked up a video, like a friend of mine said that she was taking her daughter to get her ears cleaned at the doctor, and I thought, I wonder how bad that is. Like I wonder if it's super painful. So I looked up a video, and of course it was horrifying because it's like the most nasty example possible. Oh, thank you, Pamela. Okay. The question is, do you have any advice on getting back at scammers? Um, After they've done something to you, or just while they call you and you just happen to have them at your mercy? Um, if you have kids, they are very, very useful in dragging things out. You just have one excuse after another. Just, oh, hang on, I have to go help my daughter. And they hear the children in the background, saying, I need this, I need that. And if they think you are the one way they're going to get any money tonight or today, Um, they'll sit through a lot of stuff. So, yeah, Spree the pimple popper. I wonder if they're still monetized. I have a friend who's like very into like anything that pops. Yes, boil popping. Ugh. It's like this conversation just keeps getting better and better. Um, yeah, with scammers, I like to make them think that they're getting somewhere. And there's been a few times where I thought, you know what, I think there's a good chance they may have cried afterwards. Like, especially when I had them on for an hour and a half and finally read them the fake codes. I kind of wonder, like, are they going to get fired from their scammer job because they're so bad at detecting when someone is screwing with them? What's the worst scamming call that I've ever been involved in? Uh, hmm. I guess it would depend on what's bad about it. Um, I don't know. To me, a bad scam call is when I don't get to keep them on for very long, because then I feel like a failure. Like, I posted a video today where the guy spoke pretty good English, so I wanted to make it more funny, but I have to tone it way down when the person speaks English really well because I know they're not going to fall for things for long. So if they don't, like, if their English is horrible, then I know I can say really bizarre things and just have a lot of fun with it. Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, that's right. When I was on with IREX scammers one time, and this guy was the biggest pervert, and I spent the whole time singing over him really loud. So we had started um, the call together, and my kids were supposed to be watching our toddler, and then she came upstairs, and I still really wanted to waste the guy's time, but then I didn't want her to hear disgusting things. So I was like singing Let It Go at the top of my lungs stuff and trying to keep her happy. And so she was happy, but the guy, he was saying really perverted things, thinking that I would hang up, and then Rec was getting really mad. So he had called him again and chewed him out in the way that he does. Um, Sydney says, I've always wondered if the women scammers get abused by their husbands if they don't make their quota. Um, I don't know. I don't know if it's a family operation or if it's more like they're a young adult and they fall for an ad and they decide to go work at a place and it turns out not to be legit. Just like the magazine scammers who send like vans full of kids to to scam people. I don't think they typically go with their friends or relatives. Um, I've heard stories of scammers um, like moving somewhere within India and someone ends up with their passport or something like that and they feel stuck there, but I don't know, like, but that information comes from scammers and they're liars, so that might just be them hoping that you'll feel sorry for them and stop scam baiting, right? They don't want us making their lives more difficult, so if they make us try to feel a little bit of pity for them, and decide, oh, okay, I guess you really need the money or something like that. Like maybe they think that's what will happen if they tell us their sob story. Sydney, their place of employment basically looks like any other call center in India, and that's pretty easy to disguise. Do I really have a unibrow? No, I don't. When I do, it's made out of eyeliner. Esprit says, I've had one call me from his house with kids in the background, and he was saying some really sick stuff. Ew. That's messed up. Okay, so yeah, the pervert one would have been the worst call I was ever involved in. Um, Sometimes you can tell if you have one that's more, quote, innocent when it comes to. Oops. I think I hit the reverse button. There's my ceiling fan. Okay, so some of them I can get away with saying certain things because, like, they have a certain level of morals. Like, the time I was, well, one of the times I was pretending to be an old lady, and this guy said, it was a credit card scammer, said his name was Peter O'Connor, and I was saying, oh, I used to have a boyfriend named Peter O'Connor. And, I realized he was so uncomfortable already. And my friend was there visiting. That's the most risque I ever got is when I said, like, something about, like, oh, we should make love, Peter. And then I gave him multiple fake credit card numbers. Yeah, drop bear back when I had 8 children. Ambria says one Indian guy or girl couldn't tell at Amazon asked me if I sang, and I said yes, and they said my voice turned them on. Ew, Amazon? Are you serious? Did they call you or did you call them? Are you sure it was Amazon? There's great YouTube videos of scammers hacked. Yeah, I saw one recently where someone was translating the Hindi, and they were saying, like, someone was crying and saying something about their server or something. That made me laugh. Oh, thanks, Sydney. I was really proud of thinking of that name. Ambria, did you complain about the pervert? Man, made a scammer sing for me one time. I think a couple of them sang for me, but it was Ashwin, um, the one when I was doing dishes. I was very proud of that. But like at that point, he was just doing anything he could to suck up because he couldn't gain access to my computer. So he thought, oh, I'll go the friend route, and then after a while, I'll be able to ask you if I can, quote, borrow $1,500. And I knew that's the route he was going, and some people were going, oh, well, it sounds like he really wants to be your friend, and they're so nice, but no, he's a scammer. Because he didn't really care about talking to me get, until he couldn't get into my computer. Oh, so they're talking about your speaking voice? Esprit says, I had an Amazon driver ask me to have an affair with him? Gosh. Is he actually employed by Amazon, or is it, contracted out? That's messed up. Little piece, I'm glad to make you laugh. You guys, I don't know if I'll ever have another Ashwin. Yeah, I see people will stop surprising me, but they continue to. But I don't know if you guys saw the news story about Morgan Freeman, and I just want to be in denial about it. I feel like by the end of this year, all my favorite people are going to be ruined. Yeah, I just want another scammer that I can mess with for months, you know? But the Ashwin thing, that just really turned into a fun creative writing exercise for me. And I mean, I didn't think it was going to last that long because I thought he would scare off once I brought in Brittany and made things really uncomfortable. But I think at that point, he just felt like, I have already talked to this woman for hours, and I am going to get some money out of her. I was kind of surprised at all of the things that I came up with, such as knowing that if I made a Google Plus account and did some things in advance and started emailing him, that he would click on my profile and follow me. So he just fell right into the trap. And I laughed my head off when I was making my cover photo and stuff, because I just wanted him to think, oh my gosh, this woman is the biggest sucker ever. And so if you guys haven't seen my playlist called My Scammer Soap Opera, I told the guy my name is Princess Buttercup. And so I had a cover photo on my Google Plus that said, the most important thing in life is trusting everyone, no matter what. And then I was making him, oh, hi, Granny. Then I was making him think that he was getting little tidbits about my family. Like, I was talking about my husband Richard's birthday, saying he's turning 40, and gave like the exact date that he was born. So I thought, okay, Ajahn, like, great. I know his first and last name. I know his date of birth. I can just get some little kernels of information about them so I can steal their identity. Thanks, Drop Bear. Who's the meanest, men or women, out of the scammers? I haven't talked to many women at all. The first woman I ever talked to, she actually giggled when they were threatening to send me to jail, and I said, but wouldn't that be a nice break from the kids? And she went, I guess so. And she sounded like she wanted to talk to me for her amusement, and she goes, well, you know, I can't, I have to go, I can't just, you know, talk about, you know, whatever. And Bria says, maybe you can go on Dr. Phil for a scammer having a strange relationship with you over the phone. Yeah, little piece. Yeah, Richard made me eat celery. He was a horrible person. Yeah, Heather, I guess the women don't scam very well, but neither do the men. Sydney, you do their voices when you're alone. Another fun thing about my scammer soap opera was when I brought in my long lost father, and I made it pretty obvious that it wasn't my father but a scammer, and then I made Ashwin watch another scammer successfully scam me while he could not scam me. I was laughing pretty maniacally at that point. And then I made that craft for him to declare my love, and like he didn't say anything about it. That really hurt my feelings. I'm glad you're practicing accent, Sydney. And Bria says, I saw your video where the lady said the cops are going to arrest you in 30 minutes and CPS was coming too. That's right, the second person was a woman. She sounded pretty threatening. There was also a woman I talked to the time where I pretended to hit someone with my car. And even though I was chewing them out, she stayed on the phone. And it kind of made me think, do they hate what they're doing and they didn't want to move on to another person? Because you would think they would just quickly hang up and go, oh, this isn't getting anywhere, and move on. So that was kind of fascinating. I said, you're still on the phone. You could be scamming someone. And yeah, they didn't hang up. Heather, you always get the scammers with a colorful language. One of my favorite things is when they know that I'm messing with them and they're so amused that they stay on the phone for like 45 minutes or so. And sometimes that happens after I've called them over and over again and they just decide, oh, okay, we'll give you what you want, we'll have a conversation, and then maybe you'll stop calling. And Bria says, make one of your dog biting your shoes and you yelling at it. I'll have to get a video of a dog barking. So I was thinking maybe I'll do a video that's just a bunch of impersonations. Not necessarily scammer related, but just I have a lot of silly voices I've done over the years. And sometimes I accidentally impersonate my friends. I was talking to my friend Naomi and was saying something about our friend Diane, and she's like, oh my gosh, you sounded just like Diane just now. And I'm like, oh dear. And she's like, do me, do me. Pretend like I'm a famous celebrity female? Which one? There are many. Granny says when scammers tell me they're in an American city, I get all excited and tell them I used to live there. Then I ask them if they ever eat here or there, so if they know so and so. I've done a little bit of that with them because sometimes they name cities that I'm very familiar with. Like one time they said um, that they were in Redmond. I'm like, oh, really? Like, do you know this place? Do you know that place? Blah, 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 blah. And then they changed their mind and said they lived somewhere else. Terry making a soundboard. I'm not sure what you mean by soundboard, but Julia Roberts. While I'm scamming people. I've never worked on a Julia Roberts imitation. Blanca do a video telling stories. Demi Moore. To make my voice make my voice sound more scratchy than it is. Okay, Terry, I'll have to look that up. Being with Life Now says, worst caller I had was obscene. Then had them traced one day. Your home and door had been kicked in. Oh, that's scary. I think I told the story in a video one time, but I was 12 or 13 and I was babysitting for these people who used to be my next door neighbors. And we had just moved in a different house in the neighborhood. And anyway, so I got an obscene phone call while I was babysitting, and it sounded exactly like the kid's father. And so I called a friend immediately and asked her to drive me and the kids to my house because I decided I am not going to be here when that man gets home. I had always felt uncomfortable around him. And then I ended up getting the obscene call at my house too. And then one of my friends said a guy called and said the same sort of thing. And this was a grown man, not a teenager. Bill Cosby voice. Okay, I'll have to practice some of these. Yeah, and then I never babysat for them again. So I used to babysit for them often when I lived next door to them. But yeah, what I didn't like was that the mom always had the dad drive me home. It made me feel really uncomfortable. When I was next door, I could just walk home and it wasn't a big deal. Dropberry, you have a peeping Tom that lives next door to you? Gross. Old school Bill talking about pudding. Being with Life, how long ago did that happen to you? You thought I had dentures in my first video? Sydney's imitation of Bill Cosby is, I'm going to put this nice pill in this drink and you're going to drink it. That was so depressing because that was my favorite show as a kid, and it felt like Bill Cosby was my cool uncle or something. Image of him blown. Oh, good night, little piece. Thanks for visiting with me. Wait, what about Uncle Jesse from Full House? What? Is he a sexual harasser? What happened? I didn't like that show, but my sister had a major crush on him. What about Uncle Jesse? Can't just drop that comment and not explain. You own the whole set of Full House? I never let my sister watch that show. I'm like, turn it off. And when I was a kid, it was Cosby Show, Family Ties. Sydney says John Stamos could harass me any day. I have to admit, there's a certain type of man that would be a lot more disturbing to be harassed by. Pretend to be Uncle Jesse and give Michelle a pep talk over the phone. Seriously, what did John Stamos do? What did he do? Did I miss a headline? I'm waiting. Uncle Jesse has a son? Is that what you're saying? On the show or real life? Oh yeah, Golden Girls is funny. Grumpy old women. I used to like designing women too. John Stamos gave birth? What? John Stamos gave birth in real life? But was he sexually harassing anyone while he did it? His 30-year-old wife sexually harassed someone while she was giving birth? Sometimes these chats get confusing. John Stamos got a DUI? Like he can't afford an Uber or a taxi? I don't get that. Ambria, no, I got it wrong. His 30-year-old wife didn't sexually harass anyone while she was giving birth. Now I'm trolling you guys. Oh, DUIs make me mad. There's really no good excuse for it. It's like if you know you're going to go out drinking, then before you are drunk and making bad decisions, make the decision ahead of time to get a ride somehow. I don't get it. Gosh, Napoleon. Okay. Oh, okay. I wanted to sing the Kip song. Why do you love me? Why do you care for me? Always and forever. Always and forever. I think I'm singing it wrong, but we met in a chat room. Yes. Yes, I love technology. It's not as much as you see. But still, I like technology. I like the part where he starts to cry. Always and forever. Always and forever. My favorite part in that scene is when LaFonda's brother is like... That show, like, the first time I watched it, I was going, do I like this movie? And there were lots of things in it that made me laugh. I had some friends who said, you have to watch this. And one of them said when she watched it the first time, she had to use her inhaler 4 times. So, But it was the dance that really won me in the end. The dance is so great. It's just such a random movie. Where did Katherine Heigl go? I don't know. What did she do? Has she been accused of something? And anytime you guys bring up a celebrity now, I'm gonna think, did they get arrested? What happened? Don't tell me anything bad about Katherine Heigl. Did she sexually harass John Stamos? Is that what happened? Where are we talking about Katherine Heigl? Harvey Weinstein gave birth? If Harvey Weinstein gave birth, it was to a big, giant load of poo. Katherine Heigl acted terrible on set. Is that true? Or was someone sexually harassing her and they said that she acted terrible on set? Did she get Harvey Weinstein? Is that what happened? Oh, she was acting horrible on Grey's Anatomy? She did cut that guy's wire. Oh, wait, that was part of the story. Good night, Pamela. Thanks for visiting with me. So they wrote her out of the script because she was a pain in the rear. She said she was a pain in the rear? I thought she left Grey's because she was going to do movies. I wonder how much battery I have left on my tablet. Yeah, she did cut Denny's cord because she was trying to get him to the top of the transplant list, and that was wrong of her. Wait, John said he always wanted Aunt Becky. Wait, which one's Aunt Becky? That sounds familiar. We're talking about John Stamos, right? Aunt Becky. Blanca, are you going to bed or are you saying goodnight to someone else? This is getting confusing too. Like I can't even keep track of who's going to bed. Shonda Rhimes? I don't know who that is. I feel like I need to Google. Oh, Aunt Becky is Uncle Jesse's wife. Okay, wait. Aunt Becky? I thought it was... I'm getting people mixed up. Oh, the creator of Grey's Anatomy is Shonda. Okay, I got it. I like medical shows, but I don't like the skanky stuff that goes with some of the shows. I do take an interest in the weird medical stuff that happens. That's what's so great about like Netflix. Skip the gross people. But I guess, you know, if I were still recording shows on VCR, I would have that same thing. I could fast forward, right? The good old days, programming our VCR. I never had a DVR. I noticed that too, that Aunt Becky still looks really good. Actually, John Stamos and her both look like they haven't aged. I think Harvey probably will spend some time in jail. I hope so, anyway. You have to hand it to Rose, what's her name? Who was the first person to come out. That was awesome of her. Sorry, battery I have left. Sometimes when the battery gets low, it's more likely to disconnect. It's just my internet disconnected, apparently. I'm sorry. But still, I love technology. Always and forever. Always and forever. Do you guys ever see the Who's Going to Bed Now? Yes, I did see that. Well, I thought Ashley Judd was. Who was it? Oh, wait. Minnie Driver also had crap from Weinstein. That made me really, really mad. I like this line. My lips hurt real bad. The school nurse has like 10 chapsticks in her drawer. What just turned off? I wonder if our air conditioner is running outside. I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand why people like Weinstein think they can or like why anybody would want him to act that way towards them. Oh, just that makes my skin crawl. So many great things about Napoleon. I want to watch it again, but not until I watch Better Off Dead. I gotta watch that first. Good point, Granny. Rose called his face a melted pineapple. I just saw a picture today of how gorgeous his wife is, or ex-wife, or soon-to-be ex-wife. That never makes any sense to me. It's like, okay, yeah, he has a lot of money, or had a lot of money. I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Phantom with Minnie either. I thought she was great in Gross Point Blank, which I saw on TV, edited for TV. Gross Point Blank's very dark humor. I never saw Good Will Hunting, but yeah, she was in that. I still feel like I have to burp, and yet I have suppressed the urge. Maybe I should have burped when it disconnected. You think Emma Watson's face looks like a melted pineapple? Why? You think she's not attractive? Just because? You just don't like her? I didn't think she looked like a melted pineapple in Beauty and the Beast. This is like a slumber party. You're right. Let's play Truth or Dare. Granny, I dare you to make a video about John Stamos sexually harassing someone while giving birth. Go make it. Okay. You can't tell anybody why you're making it. You just have to make it with no explanation. No, I can't let it go. Says I want to hear Granny talk about it. That amuses me. Johnny Depp. There's a good chance. I mean, I've seen people with what seems to be very nice demeanors who have abused their wives. So, you never really know. Is Granny really a granny? Granny, are you a granny? I think she is a granny. She is a granny. Oh, I was gonna say, so my son is graduating sometime in June, and he's decided he doesn't want to walk. So the thing is, he always ends up singing at the graduations with his jazz choir. So he's already sat through 2 graduations that were like agonizingly long, and then the valedictorians give speeches and they decide to go all political and irritate everybody, and they're not well spoken either, and he just doesn't want to sit through it again. I consider it a gift because I don't want to sit through it either. So Ambria, we're in Washington. So I didn't even want to go to my own graduation. At that point I just felt like I'm done. I will still see the people who I want to see. I didn't feel like this strong sense of this is so sentimental and life changing, and I just felt like, big deal. So I think we're gonna have a mock graduation for him at home and do a garden party like on The Office, where Jim writes a book about how to have a garden party and Dwight falls for it and decides to have one and use all the tips in the book. And when the guests arrive, he yells their names. That's too, Ambria. It does take place in Seattle, but it's not actually filmed here, I'm pretty sure, except maybe a couple things. I had my son when I was 24. Yeah, the show Frasier also takes place in Seattle, but I think they film it in San Diego or something like that. Or maybe LA. I don't know. I know it's in California. You've never seen The Office? What? Do you have Netflix? You gotta see The Office. Oh, and I also like Parks and Recreation, but not quite as much as The Office. But if you go on YouTube, you can see the scene where Ron has a hernia and tries to throw his hamburger into his own mouth. It's funny. The Office is not lame. It's hilarious. Yeah, I want you to go, season 1, something about healthcare, where Dwight has to pick a new health plan for everyone. Tell me that does not make you laugh your butt off. I couldn't get into the British one just because I was already so attached to the American ones. So, the characters. So anyway, so Dwight had to pick. So actually, Michael, the boss, was told to pick a new health plan, like a lesser health plan, and he didn't want to do it and be the bad guy. So he had this guy Dwight work on it, and people weren't being very cooperative, and so Dwight demanded that everybody tell him their ailments, and so Jim and Pam made up some ailments like Count Chocolitis and hot dog fingers, and then Pam asked Jim, "What would you call it um, if your teeth were to liquefy and run down the back of your throat?" And there was also something like government nano robot disease. So I don't want to give everything away, but that episode's really funny. And it'll give you a giggle. And then there's another episode where the beginning is hilarious because there's a fire drill and all heck breaks loose. Because Dwight has done it in such a way that they really do believe the building's on fire because he makes the door handles hot. And he has started a fire in a trash can. And it's hilarious. No, never watched Girls with Lena. That sounds familiar. I don't really quite remember who she is. You like Cats the musical or cats as pets? What do you mean by that? I watched Lost for a while, and it just started to annoy me more and more. Like they were just making things up as they went along. And I don't think I saw all the episodes, but I really hated the last one. Who's not that special? John Stamos' wife? Who are you talking about? Are you talking about Lena Dunham? Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. So in our choir, we're going to sing This Is Me, and there's a solo in part of it. And our director said that he wants us. So we had the auditions last night, but he wants us to go home and watch some YouTube videos and learn how to belt. And that's kind of like saying, go get some big muscles by next week. Like this is something you have to like develop. But the thing was, we didn't know that he wanted us to belt at the beginning because it's not. It's more like gentle at the beginning where she's acting a little sad, and then it grows into a belt. So anyway, I'm kind of worried for the women and how they're going to knock themselves out this week and trying to learn how to belt, and their voices are going to be all thrashed by the time we get to rehearsal. So I said, please don't do that. Please don't hurt your voice. But I've never seen so many people audition for a solo before, so it seems like it's their passion. And leave John Stamos alone. Okay. Can I talk about his hair and how nice it is? He has a nice head of hair. That's a yes to talking about his hair and how nice it is. John Stamos is your husband? You've never told me about this before. Wait, how are we talking about Leonardo Dicaprio? I mean, Caprio. Once I told a scammer that Leonardo was really attractive in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and he's like, "Are you being serious?" The scammer was actually sexually harassing me at the moment, so yeah. I told him I wanted to report him to his supervisor, so he let me talk to the supervisor. And then I told the supervisor that if I had an employee acting that way, I would take them out back and spray them with a hose, and then I would fire them. It was hilarious because I said, "He sexually harassed me," and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." That was a funny conversation. I said I wanted to file a complaint. I hope this doesn't disconnect again, but it might. Oh, we went on for an hour and 44 minutes. I guess I should wrap this up and tell my husband that if he wants to go to bed soon, that he can. Um, and I can stay up late, but I really want to watch Better Off Dead. Thanks so much for partying with me. Oh, wait. The other thing I'm excited about is the last time I looked today, it's 11:38 here. Well, I don't know if that clock is quite right, but the last time I looked, I had less than 100 to go until 8,000 subscribers. Not that something magical happens at 8,000, but anytime I hit a milestone, I'm excited about it. But 10,000, I'll be extra excited. And then my friend Steph said that she'll do a giveaway for one of her beautiful necklaces again. Ooh, 236 in Florida. Oh, that's right, Granny. You're taking a YouTube break. Okay, Granny, I dare you to stop taking a YouTube break. Sound good? I double dog dare you. So, when you hit 10,000, apparently there's some privileges you can get from YouTube, but like go down and use their studio. But I have a friend who reached that mark, and she's, I think, on the waiting list and hasn't heard anything yet. So, Blanca, you have to get up at 5 to work? You. Yeah, I double dog dared. That's right. I'm trying to think of some funny truth or dare stories that I went through. Yes, John Cusack movie. Just no one has said anything bad about John Cusack in the news yet, right? Don't ruin John Cusack for me. Truth or dare with scammers? That would be so much fun. That's a good idea. And I could be like, I double dog dare you to stop scamming people. John Cusack has always been known as a gentleman. Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay, so I'll call a scammer and just when they pick up, truth or dare. And they probably won't have any idea what I'm talking about because they maybe don't play that game. But hopefully they'll stay on the phone and they'll let me explain it to them. Granny says scammers wouldn't know what to do with a dare. It would culturally confuse them? I suppose. So, yeah, I'm hoping to hit 10,000 subscribers before the end of the summer. But sooner would be even better. But would be really exciting would be a play button eventually, but that seems very, very far away. Do you guys watch Lad Baby? The channel Lad Baby? They got their play button, and the envelope was inside another envelope that said damaged, like the UPS or post office, whoever damaged it, and there were actually like tire marks on it, and the wife was like laughing her butt off that their award was broken. I said, of course, this would happen to you guys. So funny. So it would be fun to have a play button to hang on my wall someday. And I'm assuming if I had 100,000 subscribers, I would probably make a pretty decent amount of money. Probably not enough to quit my. Well, I don't really have a day job, but I don't know. Like my short-term goal is to be able to make my van payment every month. Maybe that's not a very lofty goal. The super long-term goal is that if anything were to happen to my husband, that I would be able to support us. That's a horrible thought, but you know, I've had friends have tragedies happen to them, and I don't have a lot to fall back on except for I would have to teach lots and lots of piano lessons, and it would be very hard for me to continue mothering my children. Maria ASMR chick is rolling in the dough. I can't do that. Like, I have a friend who said that people make a lot of money showing their feet in videos. I'm like, nope, can't do that. Nope. I'm not going to be a foot hooker. Not doing it. Like, there was a time last year when I broke a toe and I was about to show everybody, look at my broken toe. And then I went, I'm not going to show my feet on YouTube. Like, because it's going to attract the pervs. No thanks. Good one, Granny. Oh, and Bria said that too. Great minds. Okay, well, we're approaching the 2-hour mark now. So I guess I'll let you guys go. Like, you can do things like go to sleep or watch an ASMR video that you really like to watch. Um, like where they pretend to floss your teeth, or where I found out that chickens do fart. Yes, they do. What was I thinking would make a good ASMR video? I don't know. Someone said that listening to my voice is like ASMR, and that my voice doesn't have that effect on me. If I'm editing my videos, I'm like, la la la. I've gotten kind of used to it now, but that was the hardest thing about editing to me when I first started, was that I had to listen to my own speaking voice over and over as I cut phrases out and stuff like that. But now I really enjoy just the creative process of editing videos and thinking of ways to make them funnier, and whisper to scammers and tell them that I lost my voice. I guess I could do that. But they already have such a hard time understanding you. Sydney, what does that mean? Hey, did one of you ban that guy from earlier? Heather, are you still here? Heather, did you go to bed? Me. And that's gross because it's probably like a teenage boy that made me want to hurl a little bit. Gritty says my dog farts when she barks. That's funny. Okay, for reals, I'm gonna go. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much. And if you want to support me, you can pledge just $1 a month on my Patreon. So if I make you laugh $1's worth per month, then please consider. And then you'll get to see videos that I do not show anybody else. Read your last comment. Oh, your cats can rip a loud one. I haven't been around cats enough to hear them pass gas. So, oh, thanks, Drop Bear. I wish I could be better about scheduling live streams, but my life with 5 kids is unpredictable. Sometimes it seems like a good time, and I deal with that. So, as far as like making lots of videos this month, that's hard for me because he needs the computer for homework, and I would like to make sure that he does for sure graduate. I don't think he can fail at this point, but better the grades. That would be great because we want him to move out someday. Oh, hi Cindy. Oh, did you just get here? And now I'm leaving. Yeah, Drop Bear, you had 2 kids and you were swamped. It gets crazy because I've got 3 teenage boys, 2 of which I'm teaching how to drive. And that people are not joking when they say that is super stressful and scary. Um, oh, and today one of my sons wanted to go meet some friends for pizza, and I was joking when I told him he would have to walk. And my son Eric said, "Can I drive?" I said, "Sure." And he goes downstairs and come back and says, "Oh, I found out he walked." It's gonna take at least an hour for him to get there, and part of the way doesn't have a sidewalk, so we went and got him. But he made it a pretty good ways. But he needs to go for walks anyway. I have 5 kids, Embria. Um, he's going on a big hike this summer, and so he needs to get conditioned to do it. But I should make him go on actual hikes. Yeah, driving lessons. I mean, driver's ed really doesn't give them very much experience at all. It just kind of boils down to you. And today, Eric was backing out of a parking spot, and I said, "Okay, stop, you're good." And he thought he had already put it in drive, and so he started to press on the gas, and we were going backwards quite fast. And I almost started to scream, and luckily he caught it. He goes, "Oh, I thought I had it in drive." I'm like, it would only just take just a slight thing and a small thing for us to get into an accident, and trying really hard to avoid that. Yeah, I've had some screaming moments with both of my boys. And then my other son, he's 18 months younger than Eric, and he says, "Hey, I can do driver's ed next year." And I said, "We made Eric pay for his. You're going to have to pay for yours too. Start saving." So we can't tell Eric you have to pay for yours, and then we pay for for your driver's ed. So it's like Well, it's even more expensive if you get them a car, but to add them to our insurance, it's going to cost at least another $100 a month. And that is not money we have. You know how many YouTube videos I have to make for that? Oh, drop bear, oncoming traffic. That's terrifying. I've had some scary moments when my boys were changing lanes, and sometimes I can't see everything. Like, I feel like I need to get a handheld mirror so I can see traffic on all sides. Because my van's kind of big. It's really hard to see if he's actually seeing everything that he needs to. Ambria, a 15-year-old girl, ran into your work. My aunt did that one time. She confused the two pedals and crashed through a gift shop. And what was shocking is that the police actually let her drive home after that. She had had multiple strokes and so sometimes got confused, and I couldn't believe that she was allowed to drive. Um, yeah, I won't tell you the sad story about how her dog died, but actually, she accidentally killed two of her dogs because she got confused. So, okay, thanks again. Oh, it's like 20 seconds until it's been 2 hours. New Kids on the Block? I had a friend who had her room wallpapered with New Kids on the Block. There's tons of magazine clippings I used to make fun of.